Okay, so let me start at the beginning. For all of you that tuned in early, sorry we had a little glitch in the beginning there and didn't realize we were live, but here we are. This is the virtual world we're living in this year. So I want to just welcome everybody to tuning in today. Our goal for these events is to provide information, but more than anything, it is for inspiration. I'm Tiffany Hines, President and CEO of Global Escapes. Today, we are going to the beautiful British Virgin Islands in the Caribbean. Yay! As we're nearing the end of this incredibly challenging year, we are continuing to get more and more requests from people who are ready to get back out there. We know that the constantly changing travel restrictions can be frustrating and overwhelming, and we provide stress-free travel planning based on the latest information worldwide. Having a vacation date on your calendar will bring back hope and optimism. And I just want to remind everybody, we know your time is valuable. We're going to try to keep this webinar to around 15 to 20 minutes, with a few minutes at the end to make sure all questions are answered. I believe Christine from our office just joined in as well. Hello, good morning, Christine. So we will make sure we've got a few minutes at the end to just answer any questions. If you have questions during the webinar, please use the chat feature at the bottom of your screen. We have people behind the scenes that will be answering questions, and we will do our best to get all of them answered. And then, you know, keep in mind, I mean, we're here to help. We want to help people get back out there and feel good about doing so. This is one of the reasons that we want to talk to all of our friends in the travel industry around the world so that we can help instill some confidence and help people begin to get back out there. So today we welcome Safrika O'Neill from British Virgin Islands Tourism Board. She has been with the Tourism Board now for about 8 years. And lucky for her, she was born in the British Virgin Islands. So how are you today?
I'm good. I'm good. Thank you so much for having us here, Tiffany. We really appreciate it. As you mentioned a little bit earlier before this all started, it's so good to be able to at least see everybody virtually and talk about BVI.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, so, you know, how is everyone down in the islands right now?
As of right now, the BVI, honestly, everyone is doing very well. We have 0 active cases, so everyone has been able to move around freely and safely. And a lot of the BVI residents have been enjoying staycations around the island. And we're honestly just waiting to welcome guests back to the destination very soon.
Well, and so I mean, if you've got to be quarantined somewhere, gosh, I can't think of many better places to do so. Be surrounded by all that beautiful water and the beautiful islands. So that's good. So as far as tourists, the islands have been closed to tourists up until, so when is the reopen date scheduled at this point?
I'm excited to say that we are actually going to be reopening December 1st.
Oh, yeah.
So we will be open December 1st of this year, 2020.
Okay, very good. Okay, just in time for the winter season. I mentioned a little earlier, it's getting chilly here, so we're already all starting to think about getting to the warmer weather. So I guess what would be great is if we could start with just give us a little bit of an overview of the British Virgin Islands, and you guys should have the ability to take over the screen and share if you have some pictures and any information that you want to share.
So the British Virgin Islands is honestly a very immersive, intriguing, and incomparable set of 60 islands. And I like to say, yes, I said it, just to clarify, it is 60 islands in total. Our islands have a way of really drawing in people with its breathtaking beauty, outstanding beaches, phenomenal culinary experiences, extraordinary sailing, and hospitable people. Now, the main islands, which are more widely known in the British Virgin Islands, are Tortola, Virgin Gorda, Anegada, and Yacht. And each island honestly offers its own vibe and unforgettable experiences. In the BVI, we have a saying, there's a mood and an island for every person in the British Virgin Islands. So if you want to go to one island one day, one island the next, you're able to do so because they're all 30 minutes apart. And the BVI has a repeat visitor clientele of 90%. And I wanted to emphasize that just because you realize that when you go to the BVI, we always get people that come back. It really just has that way of drawing people in. Now, most visitors, when they come to the BVI, will stay on the main island of Tortola. And if you're interested in staying in some place that has the capital city, which is Road Town, this would be the perfect place. The island is basically the activity hub, being home to our pair park. This is where normally our cruise ships will come in. And I wanted you guys to know that as of right now, even when we open in December, cruise ships won't be coming into the British Virgin Islands, but we are looking forward to having them in 2021. And we do have a number of shopping centers in Tortola as well, amazing restaurants and food trucks, and some of the most beautiful beaches. For anyone interested in being able to island hop, or if you are sailing and chartering a boat throughout the BVI, Tortola is going to be your main hub. And you can catch a ferry because they have frequent ferries that can go out to the other islands that I mentioned that are so close. Now, one of my highly recommended places to go on Tortola itself is Colwood's Rum Distillery. This is a cane rum distillery that dates back to 400 years and still produces rum the same way. And when you go there, you can get a tour of the distillery. You can actually sample the rum itself, and you can see how it was made. My favorite rum is called the Panty Dropper, and it's the spice-infused rum. Now, one of the newest experiences added to Tortola's products is the eco tours and hiking trails. And these are phenomenal ways to really get to know the history, the culture, nature, and biodiversity of the destination itself. And if you're interested in what we like to call the toe in sand experience, I recommend going over to Jost Van Dyke. This is the home of the Painkiller. If you've heard any songs from Kenny Chesney or Little Big Town, you will know that the Painkillers are the drink of the Virgin Islands, and you come and you get them at the Soggy Dollar Bar. It's just great vibes, good people, and everybody just wants to have fun in the sun when you get over there. Another staple of Jost Van Dyke over at Great Harbor is the living legend himself, Foxy's, which you will be seeing on the right-hand side of your screen. And he is honestly a character, very, very like authentic. He has an amazing wit. One thing with Foxy's, if you tell Foxy's where you're from, you tell him your name, he literally serenades you with a song that includes all of the information about where you're from as well. So it's really good to go over there and hang out with him. And for New Year's Eve, I wanted to let you guys know, it won't be this year, but we have one of the biggest New Year's Eve parties over at Foxy's. It is rated one of the top places to be. People come from all over the world to come and experience a Foxy's New Year's Eve party. So that's something to look forward to. And on that island, you actually do have cottages and villas, like this 4-bedroom villa right on White Bay Beach, known as the Glass House Villa. It is actually owned by a family from Kentucky. And I'll tell you, the best feature of that villa itself is the bourbon room. Now, recently holding the #4 spot of Travel and Leisure's Best in Spas is actually Ocean Spa over in Jost Van Dyke. This spa is actually the only floating spa that we have in the Caribbean. So whether you're sailing, whether you're coming over for a day trip or staying on Jost Van Dyke, I recommend getting at least one massage. The entire floor of the actual floating spa itself is glass. So while you're lying down in the massage treatment table, you're actually looking down at the school of fish underneath you. So it's very relaxing. Now, actually on Travel and Leisure's top 2 places to be is Virgin Gorda. And this is synonymous for being on everybody's bucket list. And when most people think of Virgin Gorda, they think of the Bats, as you can see right here. The Bats is an astonishing national park filled with beauty and adventure. And while trailing through these gigantic boulders, literally these boulders are so gigantic, they're the size of some houses, big mansions. They're actually caves and rock pools that you'll go through, and it leads to that beautiful beach that you see on the right called Devil's Bay Beach. However, Virgin Gorda isn't just about the bath. This island accommodations are uber luxurious. So if you're looking for somewhere to go where you get a 5-star level of accommodation, top level service at all times, I recommend going. You could stay at Rosewood Little Licks Bay. You can also stay at Oil Nut Bay on Virgin Gorda as well. This property is just luxury villas. So if you're a family, multi-generational, or a huge group, girls getaway, perfect place to go to. Now, also Bitter End Yacht Club is located over in Virgin Gorda, and I wanted to let you guys know, this is one of the sailors' paradises that they come to. It's you either stop there or you stay there. And this property itself was destroyed during the hurricane, but the good news is early 2021, they will be reopening. So you can go to Bitter End in 2021. If you're looking to get around Virgin Gorda itself, I highly recommend these open air mini mokes. You can rent a moke and you can go all around the island. And you can have it for the entire time that you're there, or you can do it for a day trip over to Virgin Gorda. Now, one of my favorite BVI islands is Anegada. Anegada is the perfect getaway. Can you tell how much I love this island? For anybody really looking to disconnect. It's one of those places, if you want to just remove yourself from the hustle and bustle of everyday life, I'll say this to you, Tiffany, and everybody on here joining us live. This place is where you want to go after all of this is done. When we open up in December 1st, you want to go to Anegada because it's just a laid back lifestyle over there. There's not much shopping. There's not much nightlife like that. You go over there and all it's about is just relaxation and kind of rejuvenating yourself. Over there also, there is beautiful white sandy beaches. Right here, there's Cowwreck Beach, as well as succulent lobster. I've had a conversation with people from Maine time and time again. They try to debate me and say Maine lobster is the best. No, the Anegada spiny lobster is the absolute best. When they try it, they're always blown away and they come back and they say, South Africa, honestly, that's the best lobster I've ever had. And most of the activities on that island itself are centered around the sea. So we offer great fishing over there. There's great diving, great snorkeling, lobster catching. Also, you can go and you can catch lobsters over there. Some will actually bring it over to the restaurant and they'll prepare your lobster that you caught for you. And then there's also kite surfing, which has become a big thing to do over in Anegada. But my favorite piece of Anegada is the national park featured here, which is called the Conch Shell Mound. It is thousands of discarded shells that form a pile, which now looks like an island. If you look at it, it actually looks like a mini island. 800-year plus of conch. So even back to the Amerindian, it dates back to. And this is one of the most Instagrammable locations, since we're all in, social media now. It's the most Instagrammable locations that you'll ever go to. And one of those places where when you mention it at your dinner table, there will be big conversations about this place. I highly recommend staying at some place like Anegada Beach Club, as they do offer glamping accommodations. So if you're looking for some place with soft adventure, someplace that does have a luxurious glamping experience, I recommend these palapas for you. They are right at the beachfront of Keel Point. And actually you can, if you wanted to for a day, you can go out and do the kite surfing because you can actually do it at that location. Now, aside from our land accommodations throughout the main islands, I highly recommend seeing the BVI via a sailboat. It's a unique experience that provides you a variety and the option to kind of wake up on one island, as I was mentioning earlier. You could wake up there for breakfast on one island, head up and dock to one island for lunch and experience that island, then go over to another island for dinner, because it's so easy when you have your own charter boat to kind of create your own itinerary. And that's where, Tiffany and her team, they come in because they can help you make this possible. Now you'll get the most out of your vacation and get to visit much of the stops that some people don't get to go out to when you actually charter a yacht. Like Willie T's, for instance, right here in this photograph. This is actually the floating bar that we have in the BVI right off of Norman Island. And the ritual at this bar is that you have to walk off of the plank and jump into the water. And then when you come back, you have to take a shot in their shot ski. So this is really good to add to that sailing itinerary. Now, some other beyond extraordinary things to do in the British Virgin Islands are diving. We have over 100 dive sites that you can enjoy in the British Virgin Islands. One being the old William Thornton floating boat that we had there actually was sunk to the bottom of the ocean because it got destructed after the hurricane. So they sunk it to the bottom, and you can go down there and actually see how it looks as well. And then there's also the ability for you to experience the shark planos and swim through the shark planos. Now you can also do Yolo Adventures, which is transparent kayaking around the island.
Oh, wow.
And then, yeah, this is an awesome experience. I'd like to say because they also offer it at nighttime. So if you wanted to be able to get in one of these transparent kayaks, there's basically the LED lights at the bottom. So it really lights up the sea life that's gonna be under you. I say, put that again on your itinerary, whether you're sailing again or staying at land accommodation. Now, another thing for us that we cherish is our destination weddings. In the BVI, because we have the 60 islands, you are able to have endless backdrops, 60 different backdrops if you wanted to either get engaged or get married in the BVI. And another good thing about the BVI and our 60 islands, you can get married on one, say bye to your family and friends, and honeymoon on the next. So it's really good for you to be able to do that with our destination weddings. And you're not required to come to the BVI and be there for 3 days in order to get married. You can actually get married in 1 day. So that's good to know as well. And then lastly, we do have our festivals. If you want to come to the BVI when we're full of life, which is basically every year, all year round, we do have a number of festivals. If you're someone that loves sailing and you want to do racing with sailing, we have the BVI Spring Regatta in April. There's also the Kite Surfing Festival as well that takes place over in Anegada. And then we also do have a poker run that is for anyone that's into more so the power boat. Then there's also our Emancipation Festival, which takes place the last week of July, first week of August. Really good way to immerse yourself into the culture and interact with the local people. And our biggest thing is every month, there's a full moon, which was the other day. There's a party in the British Virgin Islands over at Trellis Bay. You do not want to miss a full moon party. Ask Tiffany and her team to plan your trip around a full moon in the British Virgin Islands. It's very important that you get to see what this is like. And just to bring it all together, I wanted to show you a video that just brings it all together. Here we go.
Nice.
Our most difficult days are soon behind us, and a world of possibilities lie ahead. We are pleased to brighten our sun, to unfurl our beaches, to sharpen our services, and to extend our arms in full embrace. Everything is ready for you. We just hope you're ready for us. Should you come? There's no better time like the present. Come now. You'll experience a love like no other. It's the kind of love we call BVI. It's so much better if you feel it in person. We are open on December 1st, 2020. Come, feel the love.
And that is it. That is basically the BVI in a small nutshell, spreading that BVI love with you here today.
That's excellent. So very exciting news that December 1st, you guys are reopening. So tell me this, what kind of testing is going to be required, or what's going to be the protocol?
Okay, so basically the protocol when you come to the British Virgin Islands is that prior to your arrival, you are going to have a PCR test, negative test, at least 3 to 5 days prior to the arrival. But not only that, what guests are going to have to do is we've put an online portal together. It's called the BVI Gateway Online Portal. And you're going to have to complete the declaration travel form and upload that negative PCR test before you fly over to the British Virgin Islands.
Okay.
When you come now, what I wanted to also clarify is that when you come, upon arrival, we'll have a new welcome center set up for everyone to be able to do a health screening, including temperature checks, plus a COVID-19 PCR test. So they do one when you get there as well, just to be on the safe side. And visitors will also be required to download the contact tracing app that we'll have there. So once you take the test, you are able to go to the Gold Seal certification accommodations that they have. And they do have Gold Seal certified taxis as well that you'll also have to get in to get there. Once you get there, you'll stay there for 4 days. And then at the end of the 4 days, they will take another test. And then that test will come back, like the first test that you took, sorry. When that comes back, if it comes back negative, you are able to move freely to basically some contained spots where there's not a lot of high risk people living there. Then after that, if you're staying beyond that in an extended stay, after 8 days, they will take a test. And then after that, you'll be able to move freely.
Okay.
So basically that's what it's like for us with our protocol.
Okay. So just to clarify, so you have to provide a negative test before you arrive. When you get there, you're going to be tested again. If you test negative, you still have to basically quarantine for 4 days. Is that what you're saying? Okay.
Exactly.
Okay. So, and then you'll be able to move about freely after that if you are still testing negative. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Exactly.
Okay. So, okay. So then the next question is, are there going to be limited capacities in the hotels and the restaurants? Like what's the conversation like there on the islands with the hotels? Like, obviously you showed us a few of the villa accommodations for private families and private groups and things like that. But for the resorts, how are they going to be handling things?
Honestly, right now, the hotels, as of right now, what we've understood is that the hotels will be working at max capacity. While some establishments, I understand, which are some of the restaurants, they will operate at about 30%. Okay. The BVI, however, honestly, based on the layout of the islands and the fact that we are not really a mass tourism destination, you will never find yourself being in a crowded beach, restaurant, or hotel. The only crowd you'll find, as I like to say, is on the water when you're sailing. Yeah.
Well, and I think that's it. I think a lot of destinations that we help our clients get to they already kind of lend themselves to social distancing.
Right.
Really just getting through the airports, getting, in and out of restaurants and things like that where people may have concerns. So, let's see. The other thing I wanted to find out, you mentioned during the presentation about relaxation and wellness. And I think that after the year that we've all had, we are going to have a lot of people who are really looking to get away and recharge their battery and kind of maybe reset. Just, 2020 is going to be the year of the reset. So, the floating spa, really, I mean, that looks amazing.
Let me tell you, it's one of those places. I've done one of their massages before. When I got on there, the waves rocking you ever so gently just really relaxes you from the time you get there. They give you an infused water. They give you some aromas to smell. And then when you sit down on that massage treatment table, you lie your head down, you look down, as I mentioned, you see those fish under there, you're just completely relaxed. You're really feeling that BVI love, as we just talked about.
That sounds amazing. So, you guys are opening just in time for the holiday season, which is good to hear. So
yes.
At this point, are there... do you know if there are any properties besides Bitter End? I think you said that was going to be opening in 2021. Are the rest of the properties going to be opening, or are there any others that are going to be waiting for a period of time?
Once, as I mentioned, that the accommodations have a Gold Seal certification. Once they have that certification, they can open on December 1st. If they do not, then they will have to wait until 2021 to be able to open and get that certification, that seal of certification. Because it really tells, you know, the guests that, you know, we follow protocols. We've had the environmental and health department come through. Our staff is trained completely with that Gold Seal certification. And we do have, if any, a COVID-19 Gold Seal certified officer on property. So it really just makes the guests comfortable, as well as the staff that's working there too.
Right. Well, and that's important. I mean, I think one of the things I'm really reading a lot about is, you know, as we come out of this year and recover from this pandemic, you know, the world is going to be welcoming people with open arms, but we have to all remember that as we travel to these destinations, the people that live in these destinations want to stay safe too. So I think it's going to be, you know, it's going to be an interesting couple of years as we all begin to get back out there. But I think we will all come away from this year with a new appreciation for the amazing places around our planet.
Yeah.
Sustainable tourism, you know, the overcrowding and some of these things that we were really talking about before COVID hit. I think, you know, these are things that people will really be paying attention to going forward. So last question, if we want to stay up to date with the policies and procedures that are happening in the British Virgin Islands, where do we go for that?
I always recommend, we as a tourism board have a website. It's called www.bvilove.com. Other than that, if you wanted to see any other information directly from our government, I would always recommend following our government social media pages. They're always up to date on information, as well as BVI Tourism Board social media page, which is just British Virgin Islands. So any of those pages. And also, Tiffany, we're going to make sure as your tourism board representative that we give you up-to-date information as soon as it comes out. So you will know as soon as it comes out.
And we do get the regular updates from you guys, and we appreciate that.
Perfect.
Well, I really appreciate you joining us today and giving us a quick overview. The presentation was amazing. I cannot wait to get back down to the Caribbean and visit. And we appreciate everybody that joined in today. Remember, having a vacation date on your calendar brings back hope and optimism. We all need a little bit of that right now. So we appreciate you joining us. Remember, Global Escapes is your trusted resource in this journey back to exploring our world. If you have any questions or want to speak with one of our travel advisors, send us an email at info@globalescapes.com. And then we'll be back in 2 weeks to visit with our friends from Antigua and Barbuda as we continue to hang out in the Caribbean and prepare for our winter, spring, and summer vacations. So thanks everybody for joining today. Thank you so much. It was great to see you. Stay in touch. Bye.
Bye.